Ryan said he was going to surprise me with something for this episode, so I'm interested in what he has.
All right. There's no clips, nothing fancy on today's episode, but I will say this: I'll have a quick little story for you guys. I like story time sometimes because as we seen yesterday, people vary on many things. That's why I like people. It's why I talk politics and religion and common sense in public at bars, even if we're both drinking. And this night was no different. I went out on St. Patrick's Day. I was there with a buddy, friend of the show actually, somebody he knew through acquaintances. Guy and I bumped into each other. David, apparently all you need to do to save America is just be rich, have a bunch of guns, and live in Wyoming.
Okay. I'll be honest, just for starters, I don't hate that idea.
I don't either. I actually kind of agree. I agree that you should fortify a castle somewhere far away that people can't easily find you. Okay? I should also agree that you should be financially independent so that you're not relying on the very system that's trying to take over all your liberties and your family's home life. I agree 100%. But here's the problem I have with patriots. I've been a patriot for a while. I consider myself an American, and I would die for this country if I had to. But my family comes first. And I understand that the country has to come before my family sometimes, right? Because if I don't have a country to raise my family in, what good is my family if I don't have a country? And this is a problem you get when you bump into patriots that have money and have these very things that we just discussed. And this guy thought that he was so insulated. 27-year-old young man was nothing more than a punk with daddy's money, it seemed.
Is he looking to fund the show? Just out of curiosity.
David, what's incredible to me is when you confront these people and you can test them. You know, I may have gotten a little emotional during this exchange with him just simply because I felt disrespected more than anything, because I like the art of conversation. And I'm trying to have conversations. And he's like, we're at a bar. This isn't the place to talk about. It's like, do you know where our founding fathers wrote the Declaration of Independence? Do you know the very seeds of liberty were sown in taverns? They weren't in a fucking farm in Wyoming. Thomas Jefferson and George Washington didn't change the country alone in Wyoming. Actually, they had to work so hard so that they could just go back to be farmers like George Washington. Remember? King George said if he steps down as president, goes back to being a farmer, he'll be the greatest man ever alive, and he did. But that's this dude's solution. David, what have we seen the last few months here with a very particular internet celebrity who was a billionaire all over the place? What color is your Bugatti? He had all that. And where is he now, David?
Not Wyoming.
He's not in Romania either. When he thought he was insulated, when he thought he could buy his way out of it, when he thought that his network. I told this guy, I was like, dude, you're messing with trained killers. My dad's a retired Navy SEAL. You're not a trained. I looked him dead in the face. You're not a trained killer. They're going to send like a dude like Jocko after this dude. But like 100 of them. Where are you running? You think you're more into this dude? I know I'm just like painting a caricature at this point, but dude, they got Tate. They can get anybody. Like that's the point of getting Tate. He didn't come to America because they would have got him sooner. You did like? Don't we see this? The guy bragged about having a complex in the middle of the Romanian wilderness to be untouchable, and he was touched. Patrick Bet David, billionaire, says, yeah. This don't look good. But I'm supposed to believe some guy at a bar, right? And then, people forget. We're on the brink of World War here. It's not hyperbole. Whatever. It's not a joke. Literally not a joke. Do you think you're going to be able to get into a private airplane or let alone a commercial airplane to fly to Wyoming? You think they're going to let you drive your car to this castle that you built? You think you're smart enough to be at the right place at the right time when nuclear fallout happens? Do people realize if there is nukes released, you have to get below South America? You think you have enough money that makes you more important than the top 1 million people in the world? Because you don't. And this is my problem with the Patriot movement. The building a castle and buying guns and bread, it only goes so far. You're going to run out of bullets. And their whole ideology was they'll just take on their neighbors. We'll just take on, like what? Call of Duty zombies? What are we talking about? We have a constitutional crisis in this country on the brink of calamity that will destroy everything for everybody. You won't have gas. You won't have this. Like you, what don't you get? I don't want to live even if I had all this money. What am I going to live in a 37-floor nuclear fallout bunker till the end of time? What the fuck is wrong with people? It's like we've gotten so accustomed to romanticizing the downfall of America to try to save it that you're blinded by the truth. You're not that special, bro. None of us are that special, which is why we're in a constitutional crisis, which is why we need a very similar thing that happened at January 6th that is nonviolent and all these things. We need to hold these people accountable. We need to change the people in power. Because you know what? I told the dude, what you got to worry about is your neighbors. I'll be in the woods. Dude, they have drones. They can fry you from space with a fucking satellite.
They're literally talking about drones striking cows. They'll find you.
All they have to do is label you a terrorist and they can drone strike you in America. Pass it under the Obama administration. It's a FEMA order directive. I don't know the number because they have so many. But if you look through those, they own everything. The water, they own the air, they own the food, they own the grocery stores, they own the gas station. You cannot run away from them. That's why they've taken everything. But I'm supposed to believe some dude, 27 years old, with his dad's money and his dad's business and all this. Oh, I've worked it all for myself. Imagine if George Washington just did it all for himself, David.
Well, that's what I was going to say. My biggest problem with this whole idea that you can just run to a bunker and live the rest of your life is you're not helping anybody but yourself.
This guy is nothing more than what Benedict Arnold would be. If this dude didn't live in a rich family, he'd probably be a fiend. He could be one of those statistics. If you were to take that dude and just transplant him in South Buffalo, he might be addicted to something. Might not even made it out of the 10th grade. That's the people I know. But he called me a loser. Because what, I don't have money? Because I could see the writing on the wall? Orwell said the strength's in the prowls. Our founders said that they would give their lives, their fortune, and their sacred honor, their spirit. They knew that when they would go to their God, to the afterlife, or to the dirt, they knew it would not be in vain. That's honor and respect and character that you can't buy. And that's what I told that guy. I have a character that you can't buy with all your money. I'm not too Once again, my family's just as important. I'm more important than the world. I get that. But if I don't have a country, I'll never be able to be left alone. And people just think Tate just thinks that you can have enough money, you can have enough guns, and you can have enough bread, and you can have enough land that you can run away. They have mapped all the human condition. They can censor you and blackmail you. They could take down everything with just a little EMP. They probably have they have flies. They have drone flies. They have heart attack guns that make it look like nothing happened and you just had a heart attack.
Vaccine mosquitoes.
How many things have I seen and said that sounded crazy? It's all the military. You're not this dude, you dudes, Tate, you don't have more money than the military, man. You will not outrun the federal government. You will not outrun the powers that be. Which is why you have to talk politics and religion in public places, at the grocery store, at the bars, because you know what? That's where the strength is in the prowls. It's in the guy that you work next to. It's in the guy at the grocery store line that has a family too. You know what it is? I also realize this, that these men, even Tate, it's not courageous. That's not a man. That's not King Leonidas and his 300 Spartans. That story's 5,000 years old. What are you going to be remembered for? Because you have money? If it devalues 10% every month, bro, how fast is your money getting you? That's why the most important thing in this world is the First Amendment, because knowledge is more important than money. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is more important than water. Because if I don't know where to get the water, how can I drink water? But the guys with all the money, the people with the ability, that's the shame, David. You're right. That guy should be like George Washington. Imagine if he were to take those resources and fight for the freedom of this country and fight to be a patriot instead of just run away because you think you can shoot your way out of it because you've seen fucking Gerald Butler do it in a movie. Olympus Down, right? They got trained killers on speed dial that have been doing it longer than we've been alive. Don't mess with the military, man. And you don't mess with Dave and Ryan, December 17th, 73. Catch us Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. Dave and I will be there to dismantle these people that think that they can just smoke screen over us. And that goes for your local guy at a bar as well as these top politicians. Because I ain't going lightly and I ain't going into the night like this. That guy told me, give me solutions. He told me I want solutions, and he wouldn't even let me speak. They don't want solutions. They just want to blame us for their insecurities, for their lack of character. Because they think that their money outweighs our character.
He wants to run around and pretend he's John Wick, but he's going to be sadly mistaken if he tries.
Yeah, it's like, you're not Tim Kennedy. Like, I just don't know where... I've done it too, but I've matured. That's why we have the conversation, right, Dave? Like, to be like, yo, you know, it's kind of a bad idea.
That's why we have the idea of talking to people who are younger than us. You know what's interesting? I know you did the outro already, but like, if you think about it, I'm 33 years old, right? So if I'm talking to someone who's 23 years old, I'm 10 years in the future. Like, you said that guy was 27.
And think of the
you said
10
he was 27 years old?
Yeah, and think of the 10 years.
You should have been all ears, dude. You're in the future. You tell me what you know.
Right.
There's a reason a lot of ancient culture was respecting the elders, because the elders already had all the experiences. All you had to do was listen.
Dave, it's so crazy, right? Because the reason you respect your elders is because if you take all the things away, your money, your looks, your this, it don't matter. I've been alive longer. I have more biological information than you'll ever get because I'll always be older than you. Not that that makes me right, but that's why you're supposed to respect your elders, right, David? Because they're going to teach you things that you don't know, or they're going to teach you the things of old that have stood the test of time. You know, it's also crazy, too. I know we did the outro. Thanks, everybody. But what's also crazy, too, man, is it's like we all forget that we start at different spots, man. Jay-Z sold drugs. #1 hip-hop star, right? He talks like, I'm only using him, like celebrities, I don't idolize them, but I reference them because they're the only ones that people go and listen to their story. But you don't think that doesn't happen in your local there's local millionaires. And this dude threatened to fight me over my beliefs. That doesn't sound like a wealthy person mindset, David, does it?
No.
Because those wealthy people know that one bad decision will multiply your whole life by 0. You'll throw everything away for what? To prove a point? It just shows a lack of character. And people like that are Benedict Arnolds, and we have to call them out. Dave Ryan, 1773.
It sounds like he likes getting pegged. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow. We're going to talk.
That's a shame.
We're going to talk Twitter files tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Again?
What do you mean again?
They just keep coming, huh?
Oh, they're never going to stop. It's a billion-dollar company. It's multi-billion-dollar. It's coming tomorrow.